I will see you guys in the dark.
Just want to start out by saying this story occurs over a couple of years. It has been a long time and it is really hard for me to type out, because it still makes me very anxious to this day. Some of the time frames are a bit cloudy for me. When I was 15 or so, my mother reconnected with an old crush of hers from her junior high school days, Wayne. Soon after, they started dating. At the time, I thought it was pretty cool because I actually went to school with his son. Same grade as I was, Brandon. He had 2 other kids as well, both younger, James and Ally. I didn't actually see Wayne very much at the beginning, as he and my mom would often go out or hang out at his place. One night, I got a phone call from him sometime close to Christmas, asking what I would like for a gift, which I thought was strange because I barely even knew the guy, but I just assumed he was trying to get on my mom's good side, so whatever. Moving on. I want new jobs. He started coming around more, and I remember just something about him sent alarm bells off in my head like you wouldn't believe. He just gave me the freaking heebie-jeebies. Wayne moved in very soon into their relationship, and I just chalked up my uneasy feelings about him to him and my mom moving too fast in their relationship. Fast forward some time, my mom was working at a liquor store, and I was home alone with Wayne. I can't remember what this was over, but we got into some heated argument. I was young and full of teenage angst, so who knows? Next thing I know, he headbutts me, and I was so shocked. I didn't know how to deal. I told my mom, but nothing happened. Eventually, he managed to convince my mom to quit her job because he can financially support us, and she had back and knee issues, so she agreed. Then, shit started to get fucking weird. I suddenly got a peeping Tom who would peer into my windows late at night in the summer. I would notice because I saw someone, or my neighbor would see someone, etc. At one point, someone saw him taking pictures of the inside of my bedroom, not sure if I was home or not. Police were called, but of course, they can't do anything if they can't actually catch the guy. I was terrified. To this day, I am so uneasy sleeping if windows are low. Wayne took action and convinced us he could take care of the family. Such a hero. He convinced my mom to get a security system which cost a fortune that had to be paid monthly. He convinced my mom to get a dog coda. She was the bond to keep us safe. Turns out, Wayne had hired people to look into my window. In the winter, I could see footprints all of the time that lead to my window. I did not learn that this was him until much, much later. I'm not even sure how we found out. He started to get physically abusive with my mom, me, and worst of all, poor little Coda. I used to just hold her and cry because I felt so bad for her. We felt totally trapped financially. I felt scared of whoever this dude was that was peering into my windows at night. We were scared. We were absolutely fucking terrified. One night, Wayne didn't come home. My mom called him over and over and over, and he would not answer his phone. When he did arrive home in the wee hours of the morning, his clothes were ripped. He was dirty as all hell and covered in blood. Wayne claimed he got mugged. Not long after this incident, freaking homicide detectives show up to my house. He pushes me away and tells me he will speak with them in private. Upon his return, he comes up with some story about how it had to do with a neighbor of ours going missing. They were just doing door-to-door checks looking for any information, and that they won't be returning, and there is no need to worry. A couple of weeks after this, a truck was found abandoned, and they found a body. There was a murder. The accused was a neighbor of mine. Honestly, it has never been proven, but there is no doubt in my mind that Wayne had something to do with it. Ah, and here's where we learn Wayne has a crack addiction. He was a huge dude. You'd never guess by looking at him that he had an addiction to drugs. Hence, why it took so long to figure out. It all came to a head one night. He and my mother started arguing. I heard banging coming from the bedroom, and I went running to save my mom. I found my mother huddled into a corner in their tiny-ass bathroom and him on top of her beating her. I screamed and grabbed at him, begging him to stop. He then turned on me, grabbing me by my neck, pushing me up against a wall by my neck, and punched the wall directly beside my face. He let me go, and I went running. He had purchased an old-timey battle axe that happened to be sharpened, and it hung on our wall. He grabbed it and started chasing us with this axe. I thought we were gonna fucking die. Now, just a note, my mother tried calling the police when they first started arguing, but they didn't come. As he was chasing us with the axe, I had 911 on the phone with me. I was screaming, blubbering, begging for them to come. In this whole mess, I don't know how he stopped or why, but he left. Once the cops got there, he was gone. He did get caught and charged. We of course got summoned to testify in court. My poor mom was too scared to testify, so she refused. We still had to go to court though. We saw him in the courthouse and he gave my mom and I the most sinister fucking grin I have ever seen. He was pleased with himself. He felt no remorse. In my late teens, I began a serious relationship with my first ever boyfriend. When I was young, I had zero confidence, no self-esteem, and a warped idea of what a relationship should be like, due to witnessing those of adults around. Being so shy and innocent, I fell madly in love. I'm still not sure how. From the start, the relationship was controlling and abusive on his part, and it still makes me angry now, more so that I put up with it for 5 years. He hated my friends and family for no apparent reason, and I had to really fight to keep other relationships going. But as I got older, I got sick of his shit, and when my family were going away for a weekend, I found the perfect opportunity to invite all my friends around for the evening. He tried to put a stop to it with threats and abuse, but I didn't let up, and my friends arrived around 7 p.m. We were sitting in the living room, drinking and chatting with nibbles and music, but all night my boyfriend was calling my phone, demanding I make my friends leave and walk to his house to bring him alcohol. My friends soon caught wind of it, and they were already unhappy about me being with him. After a few drinks, I started to ignore the calls, and the conversation turned to my boyfriend. My friends expressed their anger and dislike of him with the usual. You could do better. You need to get rid of him. He doesn't deserve you. Generally, we enjoyed the evening, and my friends began to leave at 1 a.m. I wasn't afraid to be alone in the house as I have a Rottweiler. She's friendly as hell, but I'm sure she'd protect me. As one of my male friends was about to leave, he stopped behind to give me a really deep talk on how he felt about my boyfriend, and I agreed with him. I said goodbye and watched at the front door as my friends hurried in the dark and pouring rain to their cars before I went to the kitchen, where I had left my phone to charge a little while earlier. As I picked up my phone, something in the kitchen window caught my eye. Standing directly outside my kitchen window in the dark and pouring rain, hooded and angry, was my boyfriend. He was scowling in at me from the darkness. He looked ready to kill. I screamed, and we stared at each other for a while. I could see he was mortal drunk, as the whites of his eyes go pink, which makes him look incredibly freaky as he has blue eyes. He turned away and disappeared. I knew I had to face him. I went out the back door onto the patio in the rain. He was standing a few feet away from me. He was breathing really loud and crying where he was so angry. He bent down to pick up a broken wooden broom handle. I asked him, "Are you going to use that on me?" And he said, "I'm going to hurt you so badly." I didn't know what to do. My heart was racing, but I was stuck in position and quite drunk. He growled as he swung the handle into a flower basket above my head, which tipped sideways and spilled soil and flowers down my right shoulder. Then he slammed it on the floor and ran at me, grabbing me around the throat. My dog must have heard him throw the handle as she came bounding out of the back door, making an angry snorting sound. She's always friendly and was familiar with him, so I didn't think she'd do anything as he started to strangle me. But she leapt up and took his arm by his sleeve and started to shake him by the arm. Seeing the fear in his face was priceless. He backed off and she calmed down. My boyfriend started to cry and told me that he had walked to my house a few hours ago, sneaked into the house through the back door, and hidden in the cupboard under the stairs, where he had listened to every word me and my friends had said about him. I took my dog back inside and locked the door. When I looked out of the window, he was lying on a sun lounger in the rain crying. When he realized I wasn't coming back out, he left. The thought of him makes my stomach turn.